Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à un morceau de Fry et Laurie.
Stoot Messi Bim, Gut Yender, Fenstoopke, Fry, Stink Laurie.
Lars Pebble Finger Hat, Fly Bohen Fry Shat Laurie.
Thar Matadata, Polit Whip Yip Nip Sip, Fry, Hidden Laurie.
It's a lovely accent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that from a tape, or...?
No, I used to live there in the 70s.
I thought so.
Well, anyway, that's enough verbal frotting for the time being. It's easy to say, you know, that the next half hour will soon be filled with the sound of good fellowship, the laughter of friends, and the sobbing of children.
That's right, but what is hard, however, what is painfully, grindingly, thigh-suckingly hard, is to find the words that can adequately describe our first guest this evening. Well, the easiest bit first. She's a man of real distinction, born within moaning distance of Sevenoaks in Kent. Our first guest has variously been described as the finest classical murderer of his generation, and also as the Jilly Cooper of anal love. He's the captain of his soul and the chief petty officer of his destiny, and he brings to a bit of Fry and Laurie a much-needed injection of heroin. He is, of course, Clive Mantle.
Oh,
Now, Clive, this is very exciting for me. In fact, this is something of a realisation of a lifelong ambition, as far as I'm concerned. My colleague wasn't all that keen on having you on, but I insisted.
my colleague will have his little joke. No, sincerely, a great pleasure, Clive.
Now, Clive, tell us what you've been up to. You had a bit of a hard night last night, I understand.
Not really.
No, well, there was something about you and, you know, you and a certain actor from EastEnders.
Oh, that, well...
Yeah, a certain amount of hell was raised, I understand.
You know what the press are like. They'd like to blow everything out of all proportion.
I think in your case, nature's already done that, Clive.
Tell me, I've met a number of reformed Hellraisers, but I think I'm right in saying you're the first Hellraiser proper I've ever actually met. Tell us about this business of Hellraising. What's it all about?
I think it's specifically a reference to drinking.
Oh, I see. So when they say Hellraiser, they really mean drunk.
I think there's a bit more to it than that.
Such as?
Well, being rude to waiters, you know, upsetting the odd table, that sort of thing.
Well, something learnt there already. So when they say Hellraiser, they mean old drunk who is rude to waiters and upsets tables.
I think the idea is that it's quite stylish.
Stylish?
Well, you know, amusing.
Really? Amusing? Really? Well, Stephen, your witness.
No further questions.
Relax, Clive. The rapier is back in its scabbard.
Well, from sad old drunks who are rude to waiters and upset tables...
Stylishly.
Always stylishly. We move on to our second studio visitor. You know, ladies and gentlemen, when Shakespeare wrote the words, "Time cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety," it's possible he was thinking of Cleopatra. But it's also just possible, too, that he was thinking of our next studio guest. She's been described as the doyenne of...
Very unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
Right.
Well, she was born centuries after
You
Shakespeare.
can possibly be talking about it. Never met, never heard.
Yeah, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, when Geoffrey Archer wrote the words, "The expanding bullet mushroomed inside Ullman's thigh, splintering bone and tissue as if it had been cheap crockery," it's just possible he was thinking of our next guest.
Better.
Much better.
Much better.
Her friends call her Snutty, but to millions of fans of the Littlewoods catalogue, she is adoringly and affectionately known as the Cardigan Lady. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, please ingest, please assimilate gently the manifold delights of Imelda Staunton.